right now in the CS2 community, it is very cool to hate on CS2, to hate on Valve, to say that, Valve sucks. They've dropped the ball at CS2. CS2's left for dead. It's a dead game, dead project. It's dying. The CS2 investments are a waste of time, whatever. But I truly believe all those people are incorrect. And I do believe that CS2 has a great foundation for what will eventually be one of the best games out there, and a game that grows very, very much from here. I do believe even right now, Valve is already beginning to make these slow incremental changes. They're going to lead to a very bright future ahead for this community. I am Germ, a CS2 cash trader, collector, and investor, and in this video today, I'm going to talk about why I think right now Valve is making changes slowly over time that are eventually going to lead to exponential growth all at once for the community, for the game, for the player base, and for CS2 investments as well. But first, just want to mention my cash trading business. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 items for cold hard cash or crypto or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. I'm buying pretty much anything and everything for the right price. Bunch of stuff I bought recently, knives, gloves, capsules, agents, stickers, a Zeus, whatever you guys have. If you're looking to cash out for money quick or looking to just change up your portfolio inventory, whatever, for any reason, hit me up. We can probably get a deal done. And of course, by selling them, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this video today. So there's a ton of different tweets and things going on in the community that I wanted to highlight and focus and talk about. But one of them that I want to start off was this from X Mercy. He said, hard truth to accept. And I do believe this is a hard truth to accept for a lot of people out there. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's just a lot of people who are hating right now in CS2, like I said, because it's popular, because it gets likes, it gets clouts. Yeah, I don't really know. But Valve can take their time with CS2. And this is something I truly do believe. You can argue, should they take their time with CS2, or do we want them to take their time with CS2, whatever, but I do think they can take their time with CS2. And he says, you know why? CS is so iconic and unique that you can try to quit, but you'll eventually come back. And this is what we've seen time and time again throughout the history of Counter-Strike. Even though I haven't necessarily been here for all of it, I've at least, loosely followed the scene and followed what's gone on. And I know that people have called Counter-Strike dead multiple times. Just in the CSGO era alone, people have called Counter-Strike dead multiple times. But guess what? As soon as Valve puts out one banger update or one awesome new fun piece of content or whatever, people funnel back into the game. We saw that even with just the CS2 hype, how many people, old and new, started joining the CS community again. People who hadn't touched the game for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, came back, and then it brought in new people and all this, and everyone, all of a sudden, people were so hyped for CS, and the CS was the future, and it's going to change everything, and now Valorant's a dead game, and blah, 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 whatever. These people come and go. When it's cool to hate on CS, they hate on CS. But when it's cool to like CS, they come back, they play the game, and sometimes they even play the game a lot and spend a lot of money on skins and cases and all of that stuff. And I do believe that this is going to happen again. He said, no matter the hate, they all know that it takes is the update, and everyone forgets the past and loves Valve again. And this guy did reply, and I really like this reply as well. He quoted this and said, a little context for the newer people in the scene. 1.6 took 5 years before it was viable for competitive play. Counter-Strike Source took 6 years before the Orange Box update. CSGO had monster bugs for 5 years. These things take time when swapping engines. Now, obviously, you could argue as we get technological advances and as most of the groundwork is more in place that you would expect things to take less time to really get to a solid and really usable and fundamental state. But at the same time, this guy does make a great point that these things do take time. Yes, CS2 is a game that is mostly like CSGO, but again, it's a brand new engine. They have to decide what kind of formula they want to operate this game under. Again, this isn't CSGO 2. This is supposed to be a new game. There's a lot of new things going on. And yes, people want it to be quick. People want it to be fast. But one, Valve's a company that has other things going on. Obviously, right now they're working on like Half-Life 3 and Deadlock and all these other things and, the International and blah, 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 blah. And I know people want them to devote all their time and resource and whatever to CS2, but that's just not the case. And again, we've seen just time and time again, not only in the CS franchise, but in all franchises all over the place, things take time, and great things, are really not created overnight. And like I said, obviously the Counter-Strike community has so much history that people are like, oh, I've already put 5, 10, 15, 20 years in this, whatever. I want this to be good overnight because I've already waited all this time. I had something that I thought was great in CSGO, and then you've kind of downgraded it. But again, for CS2 to get to where CSGO was in a lot of people's minds and even surpass it, it's going to take time. Now, obviously, I hope it doesn't take 5 years, but the fact that we aren't even out a single year for CS2 yet, and people are already writing it off and giving up on it, I think is a big mistake. And we can look back and see that CS2 has done a lot of great things. There are a lot of slow changes and a lot of incremental things that are going on. Now, obviously, if we look back to the release of CS2 happening in September of 2023, at that time we had 976,000 average players, but that was before people really knew what CS2 was like, and this is when expectations were at all-time highs. And even if CS2, even if the launch and release went a lot better, I still don't think it was ever going to meet people's expectations that they were setting in their minds. And after people realized, hey, the CS2 update, it's not really what we thought it was going to be, the player base did drop to 792,000 in the next month, and then all the way down to 714,000. Now, from these numbers, we have slowly and organically actually grown over time. Some of this because CS2 has been fixing a lot of issues, and CS2 is not the game that it was on release. It is a lot cleaner. It is a lot smoother. There has been some really cool updates. Now, yes, are there still issues, and are there still things they need to fix? Yes, but that's what we have the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to figure out and to clean up, and also add in new things that CSGO was never going to be capable of, with that engines, with the graphics, but also just with the resources and time and everything that have been put into it. So we've already seen some growth in terms of the player base, the average players to peak players. Again, back here we were 714,000 in November of 2023 with 1.16 million. We've grown to 873,000 average players and 1.463 million. And again, this is not off expectations. This is off CS2 merits alone. We have seen this organic growth, and I think this is a very good sign that a lot of people overlook. Also, I talked about this in a previous video, but we had Thor talking about this. He said these small updates feel like the calm before the storm. I'm 100% sure the CS2 devs have something planned for the game's first anniversary. Now, again, I don't know if they have something planned for the first anniversary, and I don't care if they have something planned for the first anniversary or not, but we do have them putting out consistent and small updates where, hey, I know I'm not even a big fan of these small updates. I don't love these small updates. I wish they held this stuff for more medium to more significant updates on a more regular basis, but they seem, happy with putting out small updates here and there. But what they have been doing is consistently putting out these small updates time and time again. And yeah, each update by itself, it might only be a couple sentences or like one paragraph or whatever, which isn't super meaningful, but those things add up over time. And once we start to look back by the end of the year, we can see that Valve actually has fixed a lot of things in 2023. Also, we have yet to see train release. Cobblestone files were also found. Twin blade knife should be coming soon. Keychains. There's so many other things too, like pets and hats and agent customization. And I don't even know. There's just numerous other things. We already know that people are working on other things in the community, like FM Pwn working on stuff like cash. And, we have other very exciting things probably going to be coming very soon. Also, significant increases in game bans on CS2 currently. This is a potential start of a wave of bans and full activation of VACnet 3.0. We know Valve has already talked about how they have been, working on VACnet 3.0. We also know how Overwatch is somewhere in development and maybe coming to the game sometime soon. The cheating problem is still a massive issue, but they are making strides. The cheating problem is at a better place than it was when CS2 was released. I'm not saying it's at a good place. I'm saying they are making slow incremental gains. Thor says this: 471 game bans today, the highest in a month. VAC Live is on duty, wondering when we'll be able to access Overwatch. So again, more people are getting banned. Things are getting cleaned up. Good news, Valve has cleaned the world leaderboard on CS2. Several cheaters have been removed. Bad news, there are still cheaters. Again, this just means there is still potential. This just means there is more work to do. This just means there are still more ways to make CS2 even better. But we have seen that Valve is definitely doing things. Again, we've already had this call to arms update, which was an insane update. A very massive, huge update. One of the biggest updates in CS2 history. Just even adding the crafting changes and the 5x crafts is just a very game-changing thing. And I think something that a lot of people are selling short. We got custom sticker placement. We got the kilowatt case, which I don't think is too insane, but overall it's a decent case. It has obviously the Black Lotus, the Olympus. We have Zeus skins now. It has the Opchrome cannon, the AK-47 Inheritance. We got the Kukri knife. We got some new sticker and music kits and all that stuff. We also had another update here where we had left-hand mode added back in. We had Dust 2 brought back in. We had the incendiary changes. We had 5 new maps added to CS2. And like I said, obviously people want more content. People had higher expectations. This is not necessarily the 2023 that people had expected. Valve is making changes. Valve is doing things, and I think they're going to continue to end 2023 strong. Viewership was very strong for the Copenhagen Major. Viewership has been very strong for a lot of the other, even smaller CS2 tournaments, and I think viewership for Shanghai, especially when you start adding in China and stuff, is just going to be absolutely insane. We also still have, some kind of content maybe coming out soon, and I think Valve has slowly built up a lot of building blocks and, like I said, a very strong foundation throughout 2023 or throughout 2024. I don't know why I'm saying 2023. That is setting them up for a strong finish to 2024 and a hopefully a big year into 2025. And again, over this year of CS2 being out, we've seen some items going very good. You know, Number K is up 48% in the past year. Prisma 2K is up 26% in the past year. Snakebite case is down in the past year, but you can see here it is starting to trend up in the right direction. Things are starting to pick up. The Deadman patch, all kinds of patches up 74% in the past year. Even borderless sticker capsules and borderless stickers that have just been absolutely crushed by Valve. Again, they are maybe starting to hit a bottom. The Stockholm Contenders capsule is a little bit above where its previous bottom was. 240 is like the bottom in the past year, and it's now up to 263. Maybe to start to trend up in the right direction. We've seen 28 million cases opened up in the past month. I think there is just so many good signs, and I really do think that the skeptics and the naysayers, they're going to miss out on a ton of the gains and a ton of the money that's going to be made in these CS2 markets, because like I said, right now it is cool to hate on Valve and it's cool to hate on CS2, but eventually it's not going to be. Eventually CS2 is going to be cool again. Eventually CS2 is going to be growing, and eventually these player base numbers, of like 1.17 million or whatever, we're going to break those numbers. We're going to be hitting new all-time highs in terms of player base, in terms of items. You can look back here and see a lot of these items, hit bigger peaks during the CS2 hype. I don't know exactly, like the Prism 2 case I know hit like bigger peaks back here during the CS2 hype. Snakebite case hit bigger peaks back here. Eventually all these items are going to surpass their all-time highs, but people who are hating on CS2 because it's cool right now and they're not giving CS2 a chance, by the time CS2 gets to a good point where it's ready to take off and explode, by the time those people have realized that CS2 is a fixed game and it's back on track and things are going to go, it's going to be too late. They're already going to have missed out on a ton of the gains. They're just kind of riding what's cool, what's hip and trendy and whatever. But the way to make money in these things is to recognize when things are starting to trend up in the right direction, starting to head the right way, which I think CS2 absolutely is right now. Right now we're seeing these slow incremental gains, but eventually once Valve puts out some banger update and the market really takes off, you're going to want to already have your money in. You're going to want to already be invested. You're going to want to already have owned the stuff that you believe in the most, because otherwise it's going to be too late. Because, again, things happen very slow, and then once they happen very fast. So this thing is, like I said, it's going to happen slowly, then it's going to happen all at once, and you don't want to get left behind. And I do really fear that so many people out there hating on CS2 right now are going to get left behind and are going to be on the wrong side of history. And then they're going to come back once prices are at, moon prices like they were during the CS2 hype. That's when those people are going to be buying back in, and they're going to get burnt on the way back down. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.